Yeah, traders, welcome back to the channel. We're covering AMC, and that is the sound of retreat because we're getting a retracement. It is official right now. The stock does not look bullish. I'm going to get exactly into the chart, where I see us going, the movement, where I'm looking for options going into the end of the month, because yes, as we move down, I'm going to be betting big at the end of the month on the option side of things with AMC. I'm going to go over exactly where I'm looking, the movement that we're getting, and why this is setting up just so beautifully. Let me tell you something, the hedgy hammer is here and it's been slapping. Don't worry, I see support on the horizon. We need things just to calm down. I'm going to go over some utilization things as well with the stock comparison to GME, because there's a few things I want to talk about with everyone talking about the high utilization, because I don't think it's going to be so immediate. I'm looking at the same game plan from the past videos going into the end of the month. That's what I want to focus on. Let's not waste any more time. Like, subscribe, do whatever you want. Again, we don't care here on the channel. Let's get to it.
Yo, get it twisted.
Okay, so let's cover this as quickly as possible. I'll cover everything as quickly and as fast as possible. So let me break it down. If you have questions, ask down below. I'll try to answer them as efficiently and as quickly as possible. Guys, this isn't a bearish video or anything like that. I'm just going over where the chart is moving, because price action, again, I keep saying it, is the only constant. And now we're breaking past key levels. So I mentioned at the Saturday, yes, I mentioned on Saturday, we had this close here, and I mentioned this didn't look great. We held, above that, 940 range, but it still wasn't great. We wanted to see, and the possibility was getting a push on the upside, similar like we did last week. But, we wanted to make sure we held above 8.86. Spoiler alert, we didn't. We kept coming down. Now, before you attack me, Timmy and the boys, hear me out, dude. So let's look at what's going on. The hedgy hammer has officially moved from this range back down to this range now. I believe 8.86 is now going to be a very large resistance. If we can break back above it tomorrow, God bless, that's great. I don't think it's going to happen. So let's look at exactly what happened. We opened up the week. We came down a little bit, retested, came back up, and got immediately shot back down. Pushed below 8.86, retested, and got pushed back down, retested again, and now getting pushed down at the end of the day. Post market, I don't really care about after hours. It is what it is, doesn't really matter. So that's what I'm looking at right now. It just got very real for a lot of people. Now, this isn't a video to tell you all hope is gone. I'm going to go over the game plan. I'm going to go over what I'm looking for specifically on AMC. Now, everyone's talking about utilization, short through the roof, yada, yada. Yes, it's like the most shares they've ever had out, but I'm going to tell you what I'm looking for when it comes to a pattern and when it comes to the play out, because you can look at the short utilization, but if you look at GameStop, it held at a specific range for a long time at 100% utilization. So let's get into that in a sec, and we'll come back to the chart. As we look at GameStop, this is the first thing I want to point out. So if you look right here, let's get a little zoom in. Let me zoom in for the boys and the girls. Okay. So as you see, we sat at 100%. You can see right here, this is the number 100% utilization, and you can see the date here at the bottom from September all the way essentially until the end of January. The middle end of January, we held at 100% utilization, and the shares shorted that were reported just kind of stay. This blue line represents shares shorted. It gradually increase, decrease, up and down, up and down. So what am I looking at here? What am I looking at? What is my I'm a pattern trader. I'm a pattern trader combined. When I say pattern, I don't mean head and shoulders, things like that. I mean pattern based on history. Okay, so I believe history tends to repeat itself. So what am I looking at? Here with AMC, you're seeing that share shorted number is going absolutely through the roof. You're reaching the record highs that are being, released, and then the potential dilution. That's the really big thing going on. So I'm going to get to the dilution here in a sec. But what am I looking at? There's a chance that we come and we go to this 100%, utilization rate, and we sit there for some time. This is the same theory when it comes to root. And I'm not going to talk about root in the video, but that's what I want to focus on right now. Is this we could sit in this high range for a period of time. There's no time limit that we can sit up there. So we saw that with GameStop. We saw us sit in this range. Now we had a gradual steady increase while we were sitting there, but there's news coming behind AMC as well. The dilution day, or the vote for dilution, is going to be a pretty big day. I don't care if you agree, disagree, whatever it is. If it gets voted yes, I believe there will be a down spike on AMC personally. I could be wrong. It is what it is, but if it gets voted yes, I do believe there will be some downside. But it doesn't really matter because I'm going to be betting before that either way. So as I see this, I would like to see AMC start to stagnate above 95 to 97%. I think it's at like 96% right now anyways. So that's a pretty good range. So I want us to sit there going to the end of the month. We have about 18 days left in the rest of the month. And the game plan is enter near the end of the month while we're getting beaten down. So I was talking in the Discord today, and as we come back, I want to point a few things out. Now I'm not, Trey and there's a few other people that use the short interest and all the Ortex stuff. They're a lot more experienced with this. They spend a lot more time here. So if you want to get more questions there, that's what I would ask. But what I expect is seeing a stagnation on that short utilization at these very high ranges. That's me personally. But I want to go back to the chart for a sec. So as we look here, what's the game plan? I think we're going to start seeing some downside. Since we were rejected, unless we get an immediate pushback tomorrow, which I don't think is going to happen. It's possible. I don't think it's going to happen. But unless we get an immediate pushback, I fully expect some downside. Now, the first resistance I see is going to be here at the 7.6, 7.5 range. If we come back, you can see that was the last support. The bad news is there's no other real supports until we get down to about 6, 7, which I don't think is going to hold. I think the next major support, the next major resistance on the downside is going to be under $6, 5.96 bucks. Is it possible we come down that low? Anything is possible. This is what the point of the video Saturday was to prepare you for the worst. And worst case scenario is happening right now. But I don't think it's that bad that we're coming down. Let's be real. The channel is all about making money. And the further we come down, the more attractive these options look when we come to the end of the month. Because let's say we drop down to $6, right? I don't believe the bottom is below like $5. I don't really think the bottom we're going to hold below $5 in the near term future, until the dilution really starts to hit and those numbers, they really start to dilute the stock because it's not going to happen all at once, right? So I like this coming down, one. So if you're interested in shares, whatever, you can do that. Again, you know me, I'm an options guy. When it comes to AMC, unless I love the company long term, I'm an options guy. So when it comes to AMC, I'm looking to get the hammer, and I'm going to take the hammer back to the hedgies. We want the hedgies to fear us. We want the hedgies to know we're coming for them. And I want to make as much profits as possible. Because if you listen to that Belfort video with Trey, okay, there's a lot of people can say about it, but one thing Belfort was right about, you need to make as much money as possible with the stock market right now. Because there's coming a time when we're going to have a full retracement on the whole market.
Could be 1 month, could be 2 months, 3 months. Could be.
And everything's going to get hit. And it's coming. The next year and a half, it is coming with the way our financial system is setting up. And you need to capitalize on what's going on to prepare you for that downturn. Because let me tell you something, it's going to be a buyer's market, but that buyer's market is going to last for about a year and a half, and it's going to be a rough market, and day traders are going to get killed. So I'm telling you, make as much money as you can now, because the next 1.5 years are going to set you up for massive profits over the next 5-6 years of getting these stocks at dirt cheap values. So getting back to the chart, I want to get some options, and I'm looking for us to start stagnating when we get to the 7.6 range. Now, I know a lot of you guys don't want to hear this. This doesn't mean saying that the stock is going down to zero. It's not what I'm saying. But we broke below this key resistance. And, unless we get a gap up tomorrow, I see the longer we hold below this for a day, I believe we're going to start coming down, see some sideways action. And I want us to start flatlining at 7.6. If we don't hold 7.6, I see us going below $6. That it is what it is. I think that's what's going to happen. I'm going to keep it as real as possible with you people. That's what I'm expecting, and that's what I want on my options. So over the next 12 days, we want to trend in this area. We want to see slow, stagnated movement to the downside. We want to see just a slow movement. And when we go back to the OBV really set us up to know what was going on, right? We broke that first major support, and then we broke the second one today, obviously, right? And we retested and broke it. So that's just bad. Like the OBV looks horrendous. We want to see sideways action. We want to see that just flatline. We need flatlining somewhere, right? OBV finally getting crushed. GameStop looks a little bit better at the end of the day, so that maybe could help out with AMC. But overall, over the next few days, next 2 weeks, I'm expecting downtrending and sideways action. Okay, I want some down movement towards 7.6, and then I want us to stop and hold at 7.6. We need to hold that area. I don't see any good news coming out for AMC, at least until dilution day. That's what I'm calling it. I'm calling it dilution day, because it's either going to be really good or it's going to be really bad. It is what it is. Now, people can say long term AMC looks beautiful. I'm not going to lie to you. Long term, I don't think AMC looks beautiful. Okay, I think realistically. You maybe long term it sets up again for a squeeze, but it's going to be months. And so I don't think anyone really wants to hold their AMC shares for the next year. I could be wrong. So if that's you, then I'm sorry. Then I'm not speaking for you. If you want to hold AMC, power to the people. Power to the people. You know what I mean? I love you. So that's what I'm expecting. I want to see slow downtrending movement and then consolidation around the 7.6 and holding at that range. It's important to know, though, I believe if we don't pop back above 8.6 tomorrow, immediately, it's going to be a major resistance for the coming weeks and days. That is now a major resistance. It's important to know. All right, traders, so that's the game plan when it comes to AMC. If you have any questions, comment down below. I'll try to answer them as best and as quickly as possible. Now, this isn't saying AMC is worthless. That's not what I'm saying. So if you're hearing that in your head, there might be something wrong with your ears, because that's not what I'm saying. This is just my buy points on the option side of things. Now, if you're holding stock, you know you're at a sticky situation, talk to your financial advisor, because I'm not a financial advisor, and you need to do your own DD. We'll be back tomorrow. Namaste.
Come on, X gon' give it to ya. He gon' give it to ya. X gon' give it to ya.